Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about quasi-static process, which is an important topic in thermodynamics. It is also simply called as reversible process. It's a reversible process. So for example, consider a cylinder with piston and having pressure P1, volume V1 and temperature T1 as initial states, and then consider this as some weight on piston. When we release the weight, then the piston slowly moves up. When we release the weight, as we are releasing the weight, the piston slowly moves up because of the force exerted by the gas molecules present here. So this should be an isolated system where no mass, no heat transfer takes place. So due to the intermolecular forces in gas, the piston moves up, and the secondary becomes the pressure P2, volume V2 and T2, and we'll draw a relation between these two states while when the piston is compressed and when the piston is removed by weight. Then we can obtain, when the piston is compressed and when the weight is applied on the piston, then the pressure will be high and volume will be low, volume will be minimum. And when we release the weight, then volume will be increased and the pressure will be decreased due to the expansion made by the intermolecular forces of the gas. So we can say it as P1, and this can be some V1 or something like that. And after removing the piston, the system becomes P2 with low pressure and high volume V2, and this is the relation between P1 and pressures and volumes at initial and final states. And let us consider the weights are placed with small discs. That means not a particular complete weight, it's placed in parts. So when we reveal these parts one by one, then we can obtain different pressures at P1, P2, P3, P4, which will be decreased. Pressures will be decreased and volumes will be increased slowly. And slowly means it will be infinitesimally small. The quasi-static process, the main concept of quasi-static process, when we remove the piston weights on piston, then the pressure or volume pressure, it decreases and volume increases in infinitesimally small time. That means it takes more time to decrease. That is the main concept of quasi-static process. It takes more time. This is that means it is infinitesimally slow reversible process. A quasi-static process is infinitesimally slow process. This is important point in quasi-static process, infinitesimally slow process, and it is a reversible process. When we take particular P and V in quasi-static process, there are many equilibrium points at where the pressure and volume remains constant for many time. That means since it is a slow process, for particular time it will be maintaining the same pressures and volumes at different states, that is equilibrium states. And this entire process from 1 to 2, the entire process is known as, these are equilibrium states, and the entire process 1 to 2 is known as quasi-static process.